Announced several years ago as Overstrike, Fuse set expectations high with its quirky CG trailer portraying a game with a lot of personality and an original idea. Players yearn for such quality in new IPs, and with Insomniac developing it, Overstrike seemed like it would be a sure hit. Unfortunately, the original concept was retooled along the way, and now we have Fuse. With many eager to play Insomniac's new game, has this rebranding kept everything that made the trailer unique? Or has the apple fallen too far from the tree? Fuse's focus is on the alien substance Fuse, a source of energy under experimentation for its reactive properties. Not everyone has such benevolent ideas in mind for this new substance, however. Dalton, Naya, Izzy, and Jacob make up the mercenary team of Overstrike 9, tasked with destroying the alien energy source in the attempt to keep it away from the terrorist organization, Raven. Their mission quickly goes downhill, taking them across the globe on a campaign littered with cliché plot points. Fortunately, the most prosaic experience is invigorated by the interesting relationship and personalities of the game's protagonists. Dalton's humorous ex-girlfriend issues and Naya's relationship with her father adds some personality to the otherwise banal affair. Also, a vexing design choice makes character development uneven. At certain points in the game, characters have visions, and if the player doesn't have control of the character, the experience is lost. It's a shame.
How many people have you and your father killed for profit?
It wasn't anything personal. It was just a job.
You came into my house to assassinate me and my daughter. It's personal to us.
Fuse is yet another third-person shooter with a cover system. Insomniac does offer its trademark crazy combat tools in the form of Fuse-powered Xenotech weapons, each with a unique primary attack and alternative attack/ability. Each weapon is character-specific. Dalton equips the team-focused Max Shield, which deploys a mobile shield/barrier that stops bullets and repels them back. Naya's warp rifle triggers chainable black holes that suck enemies in and provides active camouflage, which is great for stealth attacks. Izzy's Shattergun crystallizes enemies, making them extremely vulnerable. Alternatively, Izzy deploys a med beacon that heals and revives downed teammates. Lastly, Jacob's arc shot fires high-powered bolts that melt single enemies, and also be used to ignite the surrounding area. You will find yourself controlling the character that best suits your playstyle. By utilizing the Leap feature, players can control a different character as long as another person in the party isn't occupying the spot. Playing alone is extremely detrimental to your ability to enjoy Fuse. Past the midpoint of the campaign, the AI shows that it simply isn't up to task of providing the player with the teamwork necessary to effectively topple the game's foes. Earning XP through kills and audio logs grants levels, giving the player skill points to advance their class, whether it's simply increasing your health to adding some oomph to your arsenal. Adding some RPG elements to the experience is always welcome, and it gives a sense of character progression. It's a shame the character progression is not directly proportional between characters, forcing favoritism when playing alone. The skill tree also seems like a half-baked idea, since many of the skills are the same between characters, and repurchasing skills for each character becomes rather irritating. Team buffs can also be purchased through in-game currency gathered throughout the campaign, but they do little to help in the single-player experience, and are a bit pricey. Although the Xeno weapons are the highlight of the game, towards the end they are ineffective. Enemies are bullet sponges from the start, but as you progress the amount of damage needed is just ridiculous. Enemies are not exactly cunning, but they do know how to take cover like jive turkeys. Deaths will come as the result of poor team AI continuously torturing you as they fall in battle and plead for help. Encounters with enemy mechs start off as challenging highlights, but become an annoyance. Each new iteration becomes more and more of a pain in the ass, adding to Fuse's repetitive and tedious proceedings. The strategy never changes, and the prompted hit is always the same. Plus, they take forever to kill. Play Fuse with friends and random players, or else the experience will be terrorized by Fuse's mouth-breathing AI. Traversing the environment is smooth. The transitions between cover are top notch, and the climbing sequence added verticality, which was a welcome. If only combat wasn't confined to generic flat square rooms, it could have changed Fuse significantly in a positive way. Unexpected, the included Horde mode Echelon adds a bit of value to Fuse. Pitting players against waves of enemies, it presents a stiff challenge for those looking to extend their playtime with Fuse. This is also the best way to upgrade and purchase team buffs, as money appears more frequently. With simple objectives, it promotes teamwork and coordination. Failure to do so will end in the team's demise, but with time the thrills run thin. It ends up feeling too similar to the campaign. It doesn't help that arenas are straight rips either. It becomes messy and it degrades itself into doing the same thing over and over again. The fact there's only 4 unique weapons limits Fuse's Echelon mode. With these weapons becoming extremely vital to success, Fuse hits a wall that you cannot scale. The excitement wanes with every new wave, and Echelon mode descends into the same grey pool of mediocrity that characterizes the rest of the game. Visually, Fuse doesn't do much to impress either. Level design follows a pattern with impressive introductory areas that give way to the drab run-of-the-mill lab environments polluted with chest-high cover. It's inconsistent, with moments of beauty offset with simple environments and detail. In many ways, the visuals are representatives of Fuse as a whole. Nothing is offensively awful, but the mediocrity of it is so overwhelming that any positive elements are quickly forgotten. Adding to the mediocrity is the soundtrack that doesn't add anything to the experience and is ultimately forgettable and boring. Despite its global scale, Fuse doesn't deliver a grandiose experience due to its unremarkable design and style. Its archetypical narrative and easily missable character development sequence do little to immerse players into the world. Its gunplay is competent, and sub-unique weapons highlights a game experience that is ripped straight from the dozens of other third-person shooters you have probably played over the last console generation. Traversing generic corridors and pumping resilient enemies full of lead fails to excite. If you're planning on purchasing Fuse, make sure you have a few friends to enjoy it with, or you'll end up having a horrendous experience. Trust me. Ultimately, the most embarrassing aspect of Fuse when reviewing its history is that so much personality was flushed away in order to make a game that is so unexceptional. Fuse inspires neither outrage nor adoration. It's so average that it would be a Christmas miracle if Fuse could even inspire a shrug.
All right. Guess we're doing this one pro bono.